Those of you who watch this channel will know that I occasionally talk about things other than music, and in the last week or so I've put a couple of videos out that are kind of my attempt at making sense of the UK general election that took place last week. So on this ride this morning, I think I'll just a little bit of I'll reflect on that just a little. Where are we? Okay, so for those who aren't following it, I'll just throw out a few headlines. Well, the left-leaning Labour Party won with a huge majority. So out of 650 seats that are available at every general election, the Labour Party won over 400. I don't quite know what their majority is, but they've definitely got a huge one. Maybe 170, 180, something like that. It basically means that they can push their policy agenda through with their pretty ineffective resistance from the opposition, or the various opposition parties. It's always like this. Because we have first past the post in the UK and we don't have proportional representation, is that if you're a small party and you win a handful of seats, you can be usually safely ignored by the party that wins. So the Labour Party won despite garnering fewer votes in the 2024 election than they did in 2019. And it's basically because the previous government, the Conservative government, disenchanted so many of their voters that they either stayed at home or they voted for the new Reform Party. It's just one of those anomalies of the system or the quirks of the system, where if the opposition is in disarray, then the winning party can just breeze through the middle and secure a great big majority. So now we're facing 5 years of a Labour government that will pursue its kind of left-leaning, progressive, sometimes woke agenda. And the big tagline they had for the campaign was change. But those of us who are followers of politics would be very surprised if there's going to be much change at all. And that's the reason why the Tory or Conservative vote just collapsed. Oh man, it's a beautiful morning this morning. There's hardly any wind, about 16 degrees, almost wall-to-wall sunshine. Fantastic. Let me just say that even though last week I did a couple of pre-election videos, this is probably going to be my last video on politics for a while, because not expecting much to happen. New party comes in, honeymoon period, summer, recess in Parliament. So it should be fairly quiet. So unless something really controversial kicks off, I'll probably be taking the summer off of politics as well, just like the rest of you. Oh man, look at this. Beautiful. Could do without the pylons though. You probably can't see this, but that's Birmingham in the background. Just about see the skyline in the distance. What a glorious day. Anyway, for me, I'm neither thrilled by the new Labour Party being in government nor disappointed. I've long ago left behind the notion that, and I've said this before, that politicians and leaders of parties are not my parents. They're people there to do a job of work, and so I should judge them basically on how they do, whether they keep their promises, of course, whether I can trust them, as I said in my last video, whether I can trust them to genuinely want to do the right thing for the country, but also whether they're competent. So, do they want to do the right thing for us? Can they keep their promises? And are they capable of carrying out those promises? And that's what the last video was all about. So you can link to that at the end. I also talked about how we should judge our politicians, not just on the notion of trust, but I came up with 10 criteria on which we can judge our politicians, and I'll just encourage anybody who's thinking I'm not too happy about the new government to check out those things, and it'll help you form an argument on whether you think the government is doing a good job or not. But equally, for the people who supported the Labour Party, why shouldn't you hold the politicians to the same standard? And once again, when you're having discussions with friends and family, you can at least begin to think about, well, I'm slightly disappointed in this area and that area, and these are the reasons why. So it's a good way, I think, of judging politicians and judging government. So have a look at those videos if you're interested. One thing I did notice that in the post-election WhatsApp exchanges amongst friends, it becomes pretty obvious as to which side they voted for. But I don't mind. You vote for what you believe in. My attitude has always been to try and be as rational as I possibly can. Don't set myself up for failure by becoming too attached to one party or the other. Because being in government is bloody difficult. And all these people with the best of intentions, and I suspect most of them have the best of intentions, most of these people are going to disappoint us in the end. So I really shouldn't say much more than that this morning. Neither thrilled nor disappointed. Wish the government well. I hope the supporters get what they voted for, and the people on the other side do what you have to do to hold the government to account. Stand up for what you believe in, I guess, and then we'll see you at the next election, I suppose. I suppose that's the attitude to take. Anyway, I'm going to just enjoy this bike ride this morning. I'll see you soon. Ta-ra.